Saudi Arabia says it, quote, completely rejects the findings of a newly declassified US report that found that the de facto ruler, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, approved journalist Jamal Khashoggi's 2018 murder. The prominent critic of the Saudi leadership was killed and dismembered at the kingdom's consulate in Istanbul by what it claims was a rogue hit squad, though the US finds it highly unlikely that the assassination could have taken place without the Crown Prince's say-so. For more details, we're joined live now by Bernard Haeckel, Professor of Near Eastern Studies at Princeton University. Thank you very much for being with us. First up, it's been more than 2 years since that initial murder. What's been the process? Why has this taken so long to come out?
I think initially it was because President Trump didn't want this to be released. It was also, something that wasn't meant for public release. I mean, it was an intelligence assessment, and President Biden and his staff promised to release it, and now they have. I think the report doesn't, though, come up with anything new that we didn't already know. We already knew that there was this assessment. I was hoping for there to be a direct evidence of the Crown Prince's implications so that at least there would be something new, and that did not come out in the report. So it seems to me that there's very little that can be said that we didn't already know. And now the question is, what to do about it. And there are people here calling for America and for President Biden to insist on changing the order of succession in Saudi Arabia. And I think that would be both not in keeping with American tradition, and not in keeping with the relationship that the United States has had with Saudi Arabia. And frankly, it would be a form of imperialism, which is unacceptable.
Joe Biden faces a great difficulty in putting sanctions and other things against Saudi Arabia, though some have been announced today. Can you explain a bit about those difficulties, especially with Saudi Arabia and the US having a common foe in Iran, which, as we saw yesterday, Joe Biden launched attacks in Syria. So how does this complicate the issue in putting sanctions against Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, so any American president who comes into the White House, any new incoming American president, will realize right away that there's going to be a difference between the campaign rhetoric that he or she used and the reality on the ground. And the reality is that Saudi Arabia, for the United States, is a country that's extremely important for a number of reasons. One is if you want to maintain global oil markets, stability in the global oil markets, you need Saudi Arabia. And all arguments that America is energy independent is frankly not as silly, because oil is a global and fungible commodity. It's a commodity that what happens in Saudi Arabia will affect the rest of the world, especially also in the United States. Second, the US needs Saudi Arabia for solving and ending the war in Yemen. You have to get the Saudis on board. The Saudis also have to get on board with reconstructing and paying for the reconstruction of Yemen. The Saudi is also important for Iran and generally for the state system in the Middle East. So if the United States begins by dictating who should be the successor and in internal Saudi affairs, which again is not in keeping with American history and its relationship with the country, a great deal of instability could ensue. And that's something that no American president, I think, will take upon himself or herself.
Thank you very much, Bernard Haeckel from Princeton University. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for now.